This week, we will learn about sequences. A sequence can be a sequence of actions, like the actions taken when blowing a flower. Or it can be a way for organizing things, like these flowers, organized from the lightest color to the darkest one. Or these rocks, from the smallest to the biggest. Or it can be the sequence of steps that takes for a fox to give a jump and run. Sequences are important for coding. If you remember, when we program on Scratch, we create a sequence of actions for our characters to follow. In this sequence, our cat moves forward, jumps, then says hello. These instructions go one after the other, forming a sequence. Now we will design a sequence making a paper accordion. We will draw the steps of our sequence on it, and we will make it stand alone on the table. Let's start with our regular sheet of white paper. So I'm going to imagine that I want to divide my paper horizontally in 5 parts. So I fold the first part, pressing with my fingers along the way. Then I flip it and I search for the border of my last folding to align it with the rest of the page, then fold again with my fingers, rotate it if I need it, and keep folding following that measure. And my accordion is done. Look at this. It stands on the table by itself. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for 5 different stages of my sequence. So I want the story develops in the same place. So I will draw soil on all of the slots. Inspired by the spring, I'm going to draw a little plant that is just germinating. I'm using markers this time. I like them because they are really fun and colorful, but you can use crayons or color pencils too. And I'm going to play this part fast for you. In my second stage, my plant is growing. Now she has 2 leaves. I color inside of everything, so I make the shapes pop up. My plant is growing tall, and the bud of a flower is also forming. So I color it with the green and add some red for the petals. In the next stage, the flower is open. Then I add some yellow for the center and color the petals with orange. Now in the last part, a pollinator, a bumblebee, arrives to drink nectar and collect some of the pollen. My accordion is getting its shape. Now my favorite part is cutting around the shapes I just draw. So if you see here, I'm cutting around the bud of the flower, the petals of the flower. This will make each of the stages of my sequence to pop up more and to have a very unique shape. And I can't forget the stem on the very first stage and around this leaf on the very last one. Now I can see my sequence is also telling a story, showing all the different moments that my character take to transform. So my little plant transformed into a big plant that is visited by a pollinator, something that is happening now in the spring. Now is your turn to find a sequence observing nature. Or you can also think about a sequence of actions of something that you do at home, every day or when you play. Good luck sequencing!